Alexis here, coming to you with an awesome sale of 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com. And I provide services like digital art, logo designs, packaging designs, web designs, social media flyers, and much more. If you're an entrepreneur with a business or a startup company, make sure you take advantage of this opportunity, getting 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com.
One of the greatest empires in world history was the Mali Empire. The Mali Empire was one of the most prosperous and powerful empires in the antiquity of Africa. Its growth and expansion from the 13th century onwards was legendary and pivotal in the history and culture of Western Africa. The Mali Empire Volume 1 from author J.P. Martin, available on Amazon, is a book which provides the full historical record of the Mali Empire. From their control over the trans-Saharan trade routes and development of great cities such as Timbuktu, to their influential royal class who produced notable African kings such as Mansa Musa, Sundiata Keita, and Mansa Abubakar Keita II, the Mali Empire made a significant impression. This book is perfect for anyone interested in learning more about the history of Western Africa. Order your copy right now on Amazon. The Mali Empire, Volume 1, from author J.P. Martin. Go to Amazon.com and get your copy today.
At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
It's here. Pocket Health A to Z. Pocket Health A to Z is a handy little nutritional guide. When it comes to vitamins and minerals, Pocket Health makes it easy and simple for you by giving you the food sources and the nutritional benefits of those vitamins and minerals that we need for good health. Plus, Pocket Health provides added information that you will find beneficial. Don't wait. Pick up a copy of Pocket Health A to Z today and choose to feel your best.
Really love this brand because first off, the products are quality. I have amazing hydration. You guys can see the shine. You guys can see the definition.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Wednesday, your hump day is going well. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. You guys know the drill. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Before we jump into tonight's topic, listen, I see you guys in the chat room, and I'm going to go into detail on why I chose this topic, because there are some people who would tell you that Black Americans are more Anglo than we are African. And the reason why, we're having this conversation is there was a video, and I'm going to pull up the video here shortly. I have to find this video. All right, I had it here on my Instagram. Here we go. This is part of the reason why I came up with this topic. So there was a video of a lady being asked, like, what are the top 5 countries that the Black diaspora are immigrating to or going to outside of America. And every country she named was a non-Black country. She said Portugal, she said like Mexico, and she said all these other countries. Not one African country. So someone commented to me. I forgot what I said. In fact, I responded like, "There's not one Black or one African country on your list." So a lady responded to me. She said, "Dynast." She said, "Dynast." In a response, like she shouldn't have to include African countries because that's our original home. And I responded to her, and guys, and this is just the facts, that we've been so disconnected from Africa. I mean, it's 400 years that we are now a new group of people here in America for the most part. Even to the point where, I mean, you have to be honest, the average Black American, the majority of Black Americans do not identify with Africa. It's just the reality. Again, the majority of Black Americans do not identify with Africa to the point where, and I get, it makes no sense to me. I'll give you an example. With the situation with the video where the lady was giving us a list of the top 5, countries where the diaspora is moving to, not one Black country was on that list, or one African country was on that list. But it's like they were European countries. The majority of them was European. They were European countries. But I get confused. This is where I get confused at. A lot of Black people will say they're leaving America because of the racism in America. And let's just be honest, to leave white folks. But then they'll move to another predominantly white country. And I will ask, like, my African or Caribbean immigrant family who live in these countries, these European countries, hey, how is it there? And they're like, we face racism here too. So I just get confused how you'll leave America because of the racism to move to another predominantly white racist country. That's what I don't understand and I don't get. And I would even say, and I had this conversation with Juliet with Blacksit. She was like, Dynast, the UK is more racist than America. I said, I don't believe you. She said, Dynast, we will, in the UK, there will never be an Oprah Winfrey. There will never be a Robert Smith. There will never be a Black middle class like you guys have in America. It's more racist. We don't have the opportunities in these countries like you guys do in America. But you'll have Black Americans leave America, go to the UK, go to France, go to Portugal, and pretty much say that, that there's no racism here. There's no that here. When I'm like, where's the Black middle class in these countries like there are in America? They'll go to Mexico, which is fine. Listen, go wherever you want. And the reason why they're doing that is because, and there's nothing wrong with this, a lot of them are so used to, I guess, European or Westernized infrastructure that they would rather go there than to Africa. In Africa, the majority of countries are still developing. Again, in Africa, the majority of countries are still developing. But it's just, to me, it's a lateral move. Like, you leave America to go to Europe. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. Again, you leave America to go to Europe. You leave America to go to Mexico. To me, it doesn't make any sense when you have all this opportunity here in America. And especially when Black people in these other countries you're going to are facing the same issues and the same problems. That's where I get confused. Black people in the UK, Black people in France, Black people in Portugal, they are still dealing with the same issues that they are here in America. But they will tell you that there's more opportunities in America, and there's a bigger, stronger, and more striving middle class and upper middle class Black in America than these other countries. So, guys, listen, I'm going to put the link in the chat. In fact, you know what? I got an announcement. African countries need more development. Well, go develop. See, this is the problem. This is where I agree. There is a lack of there needs to be more development done. But we brag about how we built the pyramids in Africa. Again, we brag about we the Egyptians from Kemet, and we built the pyramids in Africa. We brag about how we built America. But when it comes to doing anything in Africa, we are filled with excuses. We are filled with excuses. We got all types of excuses. That's where I get confused when people bring up the whole infrastructure. Where Africa doesn't have any infrastructure excuse. If it wasn't for Black folks, there wouldn't be no America. We built America. I mean, what else? If it wasn't for us, the immigrants wouldn't be able to come over here. We fought for this. We did that. I mean, I'm serious. See, we brag so much, and we're so arrogant. But then when it comes to Africa, we just can't do nothing. We built America. 400 years, slave-free slave labor. We created America. Slavery is capitalism. We built the pyramids. Black men built the White House. The White House was built by slaves. We built it. But again, when it comes to Africa, here comes we ain't got no infrastructure. We'll build the infrastructure. It's opportunity. It's opportunity. We complain about building it free here in America. So put together some type of consortium and build it in Africa and get paid this time. Nah, we can't do it. African countries need more structural engineers. See, that's what I'm talking about. We built Harvard University. We built Georgetown University. But when it comes to Africa, we just can't do nothing. Yeah, I'm live in Georgia. I am live in Georgia. Thank you. I am live in Georgia. Yes. I'm live in Georgia. Guys, I'm going to put the link in the chat room. I'll put the link in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, again, if you want to call in and add to the conversation, you can. Sierra Leone Citizenship Tour. November 21st through December 3rd. November 21st through December 3rd. We are rolling to Sierra Leone. Again, we are rolling to Sierra Leone. If you want to call in, if you want to join us, even if you're not eligible for citizenship, please go to Danfo, DANFO.Africa. Again, please visit Danfo.Africa. And like someone told me, said, Dynast, we are more American African than we are African American. Let me bring Kala on here. Go ahead, Kala.
What's going on, Dynast? Yes, this is a poignant question. A question that needs to be asked, a long time, For one, like I was talking to a Nigerian brother the other day, and a lot of them are starting to push back against their Afrocentric view of the world and stuff like that. The Afrocentric comes out of a self-hating culture that basically don't want to acknowledge the damage the transatlantic slave trade did, nor do they identify with Black Africa. Look, Black people from America, right? You and I are descendants from sub-Saharan Black Africa, right? With that comes the L's that we have to take with that. We have every right to be ashamed like that because we're a conquered people. We're enslaved. These people built their whole world. Amsterdam, London, Lisbon, all these people backward disease ridden places, but they came rich cities off the blood of our ancestors with the collaboration of West Africa.
Kala, we lost you. You went out. Yeah, we lost you, Kala. Casher, go ahead, Casher. Now pass it Naomi Joloff. Go ahead, Casher. Mute yourself.
Peace, Dynast. Peace to everybody on the panel.
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
like this. I like this topic because it gives insight exactly on where we need to move and how strategically we need to move. I agree with. We do need to. I don't want to say develop because development, it seems to be, hey, let's cut down more forests, let's dam up more rivers, let's kill off more wildlife, and then we'll be okay. And that's just not that's not the reality of things. White folks, I agree with Kala. White folks, they did build.
What? No, we didn't.
Okay,
No, we didn't.
I'm sorry. You want to go, Kala, or you want? Can I finish my statement?
Well, Kala, let Kasha finish because we had lost you. Go ahead, Kasha.
Okay, yeah. So basically, all I'm saying is we need to reassess our definition of development, because development is really degradation. You're really killing everything in the sake of, oh, we're looking out for human beings. And you can't look out for human beings without looking out for other animals. We all organisms on this planet need each other. So the more we dam up rivers, the more we dam up rivers, the more we cut down.
Kasha, you got 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna pass you to Kala. Go ahead.
I just a few more things. The more we dam up rivers, the more we cut down forests, the more we kill off wildlife. We killing ourselves in the process. That's all I had to say.
And then I want to add, and I'll pass it back to Kala, and I'll pass it to Mijel off. Kala, I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you notice how this "We Ain't African, We the Indigenous Aboriginals of America" movement is growing now?
Yeah, it's growing. It's growing because the whole thing is, like I said, it started with when the movie Black Panther came around. It started around 2018 when the movie Black Panther came around. When you came around, the BAL came around, and the BAL was like the BAIO was basically an organization that said that, okay, we look at the future of America. We need to return to Africa and build African infrastructure.
Yeah, we lost you again, Kyler.
You know?
Kyler, you on your Obama phone? Yeah, it went out.
No, I got people trying to call me and whatnot. You know, and I'm trying to do a show and somebody keep trying to buzz in. You know. So anyway, can you hear me now?
I hear you.
So now what is because we have things like TikTok and we have social media, and there's nobody basically editing and guiding stuff, and you have people out there who call themselves Pan-Africans who will sit there and talk to somebody who calls himself an Aboriginal and stuff like that. If somebody calls himself an Aboriginal and he's ashamed to be African, I won't talk to you. There's nothing we need to talk about. Stop talking about black issues. Stop talking about everything, because you're nothing but a traitor and a self-hater. The bottom line is this, we have to understand something. Yes, looking at slavery is painful. Yes, our ancestors never revenged thing. We didn't fight back like the Indians did. We didn't have no great battles, anything like that, In America, and I want to say this, right? What? We never had any great battles with the white man in America. We never had a Pearl Harbor.
What about the Haitian Revolution?
That was Haiti.
Okay, right? what about Nat Turner's rebellion?
Nat Turner was hung, and his body was so badly burnt. This was a few years ago. They just found his body. The remains of his body was never even given proper burial. They just discovered his body in the back lot when they made that movie a few years ago. The bottom line is every last single slave rebellion, not only they say that you don't have no right to fight back. Indians, they gave proper burial. They said, okay, this is the Battle of Sitting Bull, and like that. You had absolutely
That is not true. That's cap, bro.
No, it's the truth. That's why you people hate themselves. You understand? That's why Costa, you was saying you was Indian at one time.
I never said that, bro. I never said that,
Colin. You was Aboriginal. You were saying that before.
Dynast, have you ever heard me say I'm Indian?
You say you're FBA. You were saying something like that. You're not African.
Okay, bro. FBA is not, bro. That's not Indian,
you said
bro.
You weren't African.
I never said I wasn't African. My name's Costa.
Oh yeah, I know. But you said. Do you agree that your ancestors came here in the transatlantic slave trade?
Bro, this is not the conversation.
Do you believe your ancestors came here in the?
It's not about belief. It's not about belief, because people believe the earth is flat. That's a fact. That's a historic. That is a historic fact that could be backed by science. I am African, brother.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Did your ancestors come here to transatlantic slave ship?
Indeed, they did.
Okay, they did. So you're part of the Ma'afa. You're a victim. You're in the hall. You're in captivity. You're the part of the race.
But Kala, you said that we didn't fight hard like the Native Americans. But the Native Americans. But listen, right? The Native Americans are damn near an extinct people today. Like they're no longer here on the planet.
We settled, and you asked why we act so American, because we became like the white man. We settled. We took the white man's ways, everything like that. The Native Americans.
There were 5 civilized tribes that did the same thing.
They tried to go down fighting for what they believed in their way. Even the civilized tribe, their way.
Not
of life.
all of them.
We didn't have any way of life to preserve. That's why they're gone, because they absorbed into the white culture for the most part, and they disappeared. Black people in America, we never actually fought for the white man. That's why they think they can do what they want to us.
I would like to say this real quick, right? The topic is, are Black Americans more Anglo than African? Yes, it's true. A lot of Black Americans, they have European names, European first and last names. They practice Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving. They see the world through the lens of the European, right? And I'm gonna say it's also the same thing with the Africans. This is a global thing, wherever you find Black people. I'm here in Senegal right now, and like these people are so Europeanized. Like they speak French. Our language is slowly going extinct. We don't value it no more. We dress in a European way. We eat their food. A lot of Africans, they don't want nothing to do with their countries. I've been here.
Millions of them fleeing right now.
I've been here.
Look
I've been
at
here.
South Africa right now.
Wait, hold on,
Colin.
Colin.
Finish, Colin.
I've been here for the past 4 months now, and every day everyone's like, "Yo, I want to go to America. I want to go to America. I don't want nothing to do with this place." They don't care about their country. They don't care about themselves. That's why they bleach their skin. That's why they, that's why they do all the self-hating things that they do. And not only that, we're also becoming Arabized, right? A lot of Africans, they subscribe to Islam, and Islam, it Arabizes you. It Arabizes you, into the culture of the Arabs, right? So this is a global thing. It's not just Black Americans. It's really not just Black Americans.
All right, let me get in here. The whole thing is, like I said, it's all because here's the problem, right? Those of us of sub-Saharan African descent were the victims traditionally of the trans-Saharan and the transatlantic slave trade. When you got half of Black people in the world call themselves Christians, and the other half call themselves Muslims, everything, we have no allegiance to anything. Then you got a whole portion of Africa that call themselves Black Frenchmen. You got Black Englishmen, with most Nigerians.
Let me tap in, Dynast.
Black Englishmen, and you got Black people now that call themselves Negro or Black Americans and whatnot. So with that, you cannot build no cohesion thing, because you don't see yourself as a Black African, what I call Black African. That means that's an identity. That means you identify with Africa and you identify with the Black race. Who are the Black race? The people who are victims of the transatlantic slave trade.
Let me pass it to Lumumba. Go ahead, Lumumba.
Appreciation. Very, very quickly. OHIO. And I just want for the viewers, Dynast, I want to keep the text that you sent me last Saturday private. So I'm not going to make your viewers aware of the text message that you sent me. We'll keep that private. But I think this is a great conversation.
Hold on, you got to make it public now, because that sounds kind of also pause.
Well, I don't know what pause is, but Dynast sent me a text message.
That sounds kind of suspect, so just make it public. All right,
okay, so Dynast sent me a text message basically stating that he did not like how the University of Georgia football team was competing against University of Auburn. And so he made the argument that he thinks because of the lack of a great player at quarterback that they may be in some barn burners throughout the season. Is that correct? Is that an accurate assessment?
That's correct. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and put that out there. The way you were framing it sound kind of suspect. Pause. So
all right, very good. Very good. So this is a great conversation we're having. This is a debate that's been going on for years, right? Are Black African Americans more Anglo than we are African? Can you let me share my screen, Dynast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me see here. Where do I go? Present. Okay.
And also, I would like to interject real quick while you're doing that, Lumumba. Nowadays we see a lot of Black Americans. They're becoming pro-Republican. Republican. They think that Trump is going to be their savior. They're pro-America. Right wing. And all of this stuff is, it plays into the part of Europeanizing us, right?
Right. So let me say this. So one, and I think you all can see the screen there. There is a bevy of literature on African cultural attention amongst the African American community. A bevy of literature: Myth of the Negro Past by Melville J. Herskowitz, Slave Culture by Sterling Stuckey, The Slave Community by John Blansagame, and the beat goes on. But there's a bevy of literature on that. Also, I think it's important that we also, when we talk about this concept of we didn't fight back, we didn't resist. I know in the class that I teach, one of the core things that we talk about is, of course, resistance. And so let me see, I can pull this up because I actually cover this with my students today. Give me 1 second. Bow. Right, we talk about maroon societies, right? And so there are maroon societies all over America in which Black people, African Americans, fought against the slaveocracy that was white power since the 1600s, since the 17th century, and created autonomous communities in North Carolina, Virginia, Illinois. Hold on, let me finish. Illinois, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, and Mississippi. So the argument that we did not fight back, we could talk about the Stono Rebellion, right? We could talk. That is not true. That we actually did fight back.
Okay,
hold on. Let me finish. In fact, one of my white students in class stated, Professor Lumumba, I find this rather odd that we find that in K through 12 history class, American history, we learn about Native Americans fighting back and being unsuccessful, where we don't learn about Maroons fighting back and being successful in their fight against, of course, white power. When the student, who was a white student, stated, part of the reason I believe this is taking place is because it counters the master narrative of white power and domination in the antebellum America. And I said, you know what, you're cooking with fish grease. So this is something to be cognizant of, that the narrative that Black people did not fight back in America is wholly inaccurate.
Okay, let me answer that, right? When I said,
well, hold on. Well, one, I didn't ask a question. I made a statement. Okay, that was historically factual. So I mean, you just get to there was no question. I was going to say there was no question there. There was no question.
Let me respond to your statement then, right? My point was, I put up there that we fight back and win. You know, I'm from the Maroon community of the Dismal Swamp in North Carolina.
Well, that is not true, because we did win, because we were able to create autonomous community.
Y'all are lying. He didn't say that either.
How can you win? And you look at the conditions of Black America right now. How can you win and complain about gentrification?
If you can apply the same thing to hate.
You're moving the goalpost.
Stop talking over each other.
Walk away with the victory.
Well, you're moving the goalposts. What I'm stating is that during the slaveocracy, during the period of chattel enslavement, the Holocaust of enslavement in America, there were Maroon communities, Maroon colonies, whatever term you want to use, that fought against the slaveocracy, won, and created autonomous communities. That is a historical fact.
They weren't autonomous. They were refuge communities.
They were autonomous communities. They were autonomous communities that were self-governed.
Slave owners, slave bounty hunters, everything. They weren't free. You know.
Once again, they were free.
It's a myth.
They were free.
Always subject to slave catchers and all stuff like that, bounty hunters and people that went into the swamps and tried to hunt them down. We never had peace in this land. What do you?
No, but see, you're moving the goalposts. Having peace, and no one said anything about having peace.
You said win. Win means you have peace.
Yeah, that means we fought and we won. The Ethiopians defeated the Italians, and the Italians came back 40 years later. It's called retrenchment.
It's the same thing with Haiti, Lumumba.
I'm talking about here in
It's
America.
the same thing with Haiti.
It's called retrenchment. Because you win once doesn't mean the empire is always going to strike back.
Haiti's going through right now. Haiti had to pay back all the what France lost.
So they didn't win.
You know?
So they didn't win.
Historically. And also after slavery, the slave owners were compensated for their loss of slaves. We got nothing for our money. The 40 acres of woods, we never got anything. And they took
who won against the white man except Vietnamese? Who won against them?
Well, the Japanese won in the Russian-Japanese war. They defeated the Russians.
Well,
right?
They fought the war, and they had a government, and they have laws, and they passed battles and everything.
Once again, you're moving the goalposts.
We never had that. We have no military here. How can you call yourself win when you don't control no territory?
Okay, here we go. I think Lumumba, what Kala is saying is that the Maroons might have won some battles, but they didn't win the war.
Well, that's not what he stated, right? You don't have to speak for him. I'm sure he's a grown man. He can speak quite well for himself.
Well, that's exactly what I said. You may have some battles, you may have some licks here and there with that, but there's nothing to say that on the scale where you get the respect and you can tell somebody that's something to be proud of. That's why with the question is,
get the respect of whom?
Why do people?
Get the respect of whom?
Let me ask you a question, brother. Then why is all these same people that descended from Maroons, obvious when I call themselves Aboriginal and Native Americans now, and this is every day the number of people call themselves Native American when they're clearly Black African.
Well, okay. Can I answer the question? Can I answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't tell you why people choose to do what they do. I can't tell you why a man says he wants to be a woman or why a woman says they want to be a man. I don't know. What I can say is I can speak to the historical veracity of the claims that I made. Right? And that's what I can do. We have people all over the world wanting to be something that they're not for a multitude of reasons that I don't even think the world's most ardent and well-studied and well-trained psychologists will be able to tell you why.
Let me ask you, Brother Lumumba, let me ask you a question, right? In Hawaii, right, how are white people, you see a white man, blonde hair, blue-eyed in Hawaii, right?
I didn't say anything about Hawaii.
Oh, no, I'm asking you a question, right? We talk about winning. What appears becomes apparent. You're an educated man. You know what appears becomes apparent, right? So if you're a white man,
No, I don't know that. I don't even know. I don't know what you're talking about. So if you could please just answer the question.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's pass it to. Did you ask a question? I want to pass it to Royal Image.
I'm trying to hear the question. I don't know. He's rambling.
No, my question was, right, if you have a white man will tell you he can go any place in the world because of that white skin, he gets respect. All over the world, black man goes over the world, he's treated like shit. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they have real victories under their belt. The black man don't have no real victories on his belt. That's why the world doesn't respect him.
Okay. So what's the question?
That's a statement. I'm just a statement.
Right, but you just said you was going to ask a question, so I need you to be consistent.
You cannot. Hold on. Let's pass the
right.
Hold on.
I need you to be consistent.
Hold on. One mic. Royal Image. Go ahead. Royal Image. Go ahead.
You said you was going to ask a question, then you made a statement. I need you to get it together.
I said statement.
Lord have mercy.
Go ahead, Royal Image.
Why can't we just let somebody talk and just let them finish? Always arguing all the time. I don't understand that. It's just foolish to me.
It's a debate show, Royal. It's a debate show, Royal.
Royal Image,
yeah, but let the man finish, get his point across, and
Royal
then
Image, Royal Image, go ahead. Royal Image, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I don't know. You guys just listening to the argument, just stupid. My train of thought is even gone. So let them go, and then I'll tap back in.
So you're saying you have trouble focusing?
I would like to.
I'm just playing.
One mic. Well, I got one mic. Hey, one mic. Hold on, one mic. Astroeconomics. I want to bring you in, but I need you to turn on your camera first before I bring you on the panel because I don't know who you are. So astroeconomics. Okay, you can turn your camera off. I'm bringing you on right now. All right, astroeconomics. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, I appreciate all you guys. I respect all you guys' perspectives. I just feel like there's a lot of masculine energy going back and forth, and I can just break it down from an outsider since I agree with all you guys' perspectives. All right, so, all right, let me just explain my position. So, I would say that I'm African American, but in reality, my family didn't participate in slavery, and they wasn't slave owners, and we wasn't Native Americans. We just was here in America. So we didn't have no name. So my whole life I grew up trying to fit in, saying, "Oh, I'm African American," and then or I could be able to like dabble and pick a label, but really what I see is we're under rulership, and it's the same thing in every country. The person that starts the war isn't the one shooting. They're creating war against us, like how we're arguing right now. And the war starts in the mind. And in the mind, and that war is like what label we claim with, like what tribe we fuck with, or where we from. You get what I'm saying? And really, that's what it is. It's just pretty much them taking over geographical locations and breeding everybody and giving them a name. Then the guy who came on here and attacked you, which I respect his opinion too, they give people like him positions. We call them teachers, but my family grew up, raised me to let me know they're Masons. They're building on the mind of our kids. So it doesn't matter what they're teaching. It's as long as we keep doing what we're doing, we're the wood to the fireplace. So they just need to keep this shit burning. It don't matter if we're killing each other. It don't matter if we're arguing. It don't matter if we're working together. Since they created this one world order from scratch, they just need us to keep going like cells in the body. It doesn't matter what the fuck we're doing. You get what I'm saying? So
I didn't attack anyone. I made historically factual statements.
But look. All I'm saying is you're teaching a doctrine.
I'm not teaching a doctrine. I'm teaching history.
You're teaching history. What is that? You're teaching someone else's perspective.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I teach. I can. If you send me your email, I will send you my syllabus. I teach from an African center frame of reference. I'm not teaching from someone else's perspective.
Bro, so I do this hold on. I do this on a global scale.
That's great, but you're making assumptions about how
who owns the intellectual? Do you own the intellectual property for whatever you're saying? Because at the end of the day, that's gay to be fighting for someone else's intellectual property.
I'm not fighting for anyone else's intellectual property. What are you talking about?
Because every war has a name. So at the end of the day, you're just fighting for a name. That's how they program.
I'm not fighting for a name. I didn't say anything about a name.
All right,
What
so
are you
that's what's
talking about?
causing
I didn't say
everybody to
anything about
argue
the name.
because
Astro,
we
he
can
don't
so,
understand you. He won't get you.
yo,
No, I
listen,
mean,
all I'm
because
saying
no,
is,
I'm
yo,
saying because you're
look,
making claims
look,
that are
yo,
patently
I
false. I
appreciate
never
you.
said anything about a name.
I
All I did
appreciate
was
your
I
mind,
came in and I
yo,
stated that,
okay.
that black people in
You,
America fought against the slaveocracy
you was
and
the
had
first one I
victories.
said I appreciated. You was the first one I said I appreciated. I don't disagree with you. So I
So
don't
I
have any
mean,
dog in that fight.
I don't
What
see
I'm
how
saying
am I
is,
fighting for
what?
people's intellectual
All right, give
property
me 1
and
second.
engaging
I'll
in
break it down.
homosexuality.
I'll break it down from an outsider since, okay, my skin is black, but in reality, my family wasn't enslaved. We didn't own slaves, and we wasn't Native Americans. But I didn't look like that.
What does
All right,
that,
now
what
why
does that
does
have to do with me making a statement that the Maroons
Give
fought
me 1
against
second, bro.
slaveocracy
Give me
and
1
created
second.
autonomous communities in America?
So if I wanted to rule over a nation, I would train people like you and give textbooks and to teach the youth whatever you teaching, and you'll think you're doing the right thing.
So what am I
Really
teaching?
not.
Hold on.
Really
Here's the
not
question.
doing the right thing.
What am I teaching that's problematic? What am I teaching that's
Niggas need to
problematic?
start. You need a skill, and
I'm asking you a
You need to
question.
build your mind.
So I'm asking you a question. What is it that I'm teaching that is problematic?
You're giving people feel good history.
I'm not giving feel good history. I'm giving facts.
Hold on, let me break it down real quick.
Feel
good history.
You never been to my classroom. No, I don't.
Feel bad
I
history.
teach hard history.
I'm done after this.
I teach hard history. I don't teach feel good history. You have never been to my class. I don't teach feel good history. I teach hard history.
I was just trying to come on here and provide value. Yeah, I wasn't even really trying.
That tells you, if you're looking at Black history and whatnot, somebody tells you something that makes you feel good and whatnot, and you get.
That's not what I do.
All right, boom.
That's not what I do.
We fought. We had resilient communities all across America. That's a lie.
I never said that.
You said we had resilient.
I did not say. I said black. I said we have Maroon
society.
Yo,
hold on, yo.
Because
Illinois, a lot of
Virginia,
energy, man.
North Carolina, etc. That's a historical fact.
You know we were living in slums. We were
feminine, yo.
Slave traders.
Kyler preaching that feel bad history.
I don't believe in feel good or feel bad. I believe in hard history. But once again, you still haven't told me astro economic.
All I'm saying is this, right? If
what am I
someone owning intellectual property, if someone owning the intellectual property for whatever your belief you're going to war for,
well, I'm not teaching. I'm not. But nothing that I'm doing is based on beliefs. I'm just teaching historical facts.
Was you in the war? Let me ask you these questions. Just answer the yes or no, because we're gonna keep arguing. Was you in a war?
Was I in a war or the war?
Was you in that war that you're talking about? No, I was not. Then why do you have PTSD?
I don't have PTSD.
Dude, bro.
What are you talking about? Bro? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, man?
Because he taught, like, every word someone say, he, like, spaz on this one doctrine. I'm saying, do we
what doctrine are you referring to?
Whatever
his story.
Bro.
That's not a doctrine.
I just came on here to talk about division. And it starts in the mind. And he was an example of it.
Now, if the question regarding intellect, I do own intellectual property.
Boom. So that's why you like this right now.
I own intellectual property. I do.
Okay, boom. All right, boom. So you need to be telling us about that.
No, I don't, because that's not what the conversation is about.
But that's what you're saying right now. So everything you're arguing about is someone intellectual property. So let's say
no, it's not. It's called history. It's not intellectual property. It's called history.
Let me break this shit down to you real quick. Let's say we created some intellectual property and called it LGBTQ, and we couldn't have kids, so we had to recruit other kids by indoctrinating their kids the same way you're trying to tell us about a fucking war.
That's not indoctrination. It's something that actually happens.
When we recruit these people, what happens is their kids do what the hell you're doing. But they do it now. Put this in every industry. This is what you're fighting over, and it's just a revolving door.
What am I fighting over?
Someone else's property.
Because I mean, you're talking. This is like circular reasoning. You're not being clear. What are you? What am I fighting?
You're not clear.
You're not making any sense whatsoever.
He ain't been clear since he got on the panel, bro.
Yeah,
none whatsoever. I'm stating historical.
All I'm saying is this: the name of the title. Okay, the name of this thing is we are becoming more like them because we're under rulership by them. And we're playing all of their cards, what they taught us, period.
Bro, that's not the name.
When an outsider come on here, y'all not even going to understand it because that's what Babylon is. Everybody just babbling on. Yeah, we speak the same language, but no one understand each other.
No, you're not making any sense.
Okay.
Not making no
Okay.
sense at all.
Bruh, all right, well, guess what? I was
No,
never
you're
enslaved.
talking about I'm teaching.
I was
what I'm
never
teaching.
enslaved.
You don't even know what I teach.
I might know something. My family, my entire bloodline was never
We're
enslaved.
not talking about you. You
Okay.
made an accusation that what I'm teaching in the classroom as a college professor is negative. It's bad.
Talk
It's
about,
problematic.
okay, you work a job. That's slavery, nigga.
No,
Shut
it's not
up.
a job. It's not. I have a
What you
career.
talking about?
I
That's
have a
modern
career.
slavery.
I have a
What you
career.
talking
Hey, this
about?
a Tariq follower, bro. He's a
I
Tariq
have a
follower.
career.
I'm not a Tariq follower, nigga. I don't follow nobody. I told you
I
I'm not
have
no
a
slave.
career. I don't have a job. I have a career. I've been working in
I
higher
fuck with
education for the
Dynast.
past 10 years.
Hey, Dynast, I fuck with your channel. I used to be a Pan-African. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to Africa. I'm moving to Africa. But I know, okay,
But
these
you're
are
not
all
African.
labels. Yeah, I am, nigga. I'm
But
just like
let's
y'all.
not
I'm the same color.
use racial epithets that when we
I'm the
talk.
same color as y'all. It's just y'all repping labels. It's like a game, nigga. But I can blend in
Well,
all these games.
we don't use racial epithets to describe black people. On this
Nigga,
side.
yeah.
All right,
Okay,
we gotta move on. All right, Ash, we appreciate you.
all right,
coming on.
boom. Yo, stop arguing. And yo, this shit, yo, like this is what's causing it. Everybody going to war with each other. The person who created the war is never shooting a gun. They all in every country they create three parties. They create the whites, the blacks, and then the whites bleed with the blacks. That creates the color in South Africa, the mulattoes and Belize. They create the people here. It's the same shit. It's like a three-way. It's like a three-way
All over
contract.
the place. All right, Ash.
It's like a three-way contract.
We gotta go. IDs all over the place.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
No sense at all. All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, please click on the link.
And the thing about it is, when you're enslaved, you don't earn wages for the work that you do.
I can.
And you don't get benefits either.
Like you don't get benefits, you don't get health care. I mean, it's just like, come on, man.
Goddamn slave with a 401k.
Hold on, world image. Go ahead, world image. Go ahead.
So let me just say, like everybody on this planet is on the European wavelength, right? Because they control on their program. So let me just start from Ghana for a second. So in Ghana, the system we're using today was set up by them, right? So everything we're doing today, even after independence, is the same program that they left that we're continuing, right? And then you come to the American side, everybody that lives with them are following their program and their system. Once you operate outside of their system, they get rid of you. So you cannot say you're not what they are. Everybody's what they are. Now the African is doing his very best to be more European than the European, right? The African American has been institutionalized to be the European without being European. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. For example, the name, the tribes, everything was taken from him and her. And then whatever they wanted was given to the African. So what they are is what was taught to them. The African didn't go to that program. He is doing that to himself. When an African has a child, nobody's beating the African to name the child after Paul, Peter, Jonathan, or anything. We do it to ourselves. Nobody's forcing us to go to church. Everybody is doing what they do because they set up the blueprint to be a certain way. If you want to live a good life, this is how you live. If you want to have a good mind, this is how you. Everything is structured by them. So it's difficult to say we are African. The African is not even African. The African is an African. The African that was in the past, the ancestors, if we wake up any one of them and bring them up right now, they are not what we are.
We have Negro kings posing as Africans because they got blacker skin and they wear a kufi once in a while and whatnot. They're more white men than we are over here and whatnot. Believe that. And we're starting to see that right now with Nigeria crumbling. You know, these countries siding with the French. You know, big ass Nigeria is scared of the French and get ready to do their bidding and everything. So I don't want to hear this not about who's more black and everything like that. The whole black race is down right now because we've been taking L's for 500 years. And we all we going to say is who got the ass kicked the most and whatnot. The African American better than Nigerian, the Senegalese, at the bottom, the white man sitting back like, I got all y'all under control. None of y'all got any nuclear weapons. None of y'all got any ships. You got no submarines. You got no industrial base. Your people are flooding into Europe right now, begging for jobs and refuge and everything like that. And so the bottom line, all this is just nothing but a farce. The bottom line, until the black man gets up and says, you know something? Let's look at this whole thing. We were all screwed. But you got people over here now talking about, I was never, look in the chat room, I was never a slave. I was already here. You know, I understand that slavery is painful. You know, we can't dress that up. Slavery is painful. But if you don't, even if it's painful, right? Think about your ancestors that died in the Holocaust and everything. That's your blood, the spirits of them, right? Imagine what they're thinking when they're looking down on you, distancing yourself from what their ancestor is, right? And I noticed this when I look at other groups of people, and you'll take you go to the remote areas of Africa, right? You have a tribe that never did anything but create a sharp stick, but they're so proud of their culture. They don't care if they never invented anything, but so proud of who they are. You know what I'm saying? But the black people in the West, in the modern world, whatnot, we always like put on these facades and everything. And I've talked to
You
African
see,
people. And
see what you're saying? You
yeah.
identifying yourself as black. Who made you black? When did you become black?
Bro, we black. You're not gonna do that.
Hold on. I'm not saying you're not. I'm just questioning that, right? So the word black is an English language. You didn't give that to yourself. Hold on, just give me 1 sec. Okay. Again, the titles. Remember, I was saying everything we are, they're trying to erase us from who we are, what we are.
So what does Kemet mean?
Kemet.
I could care less.
Again, see, just hear me out. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just trying to get us to think about something, right? Everything that's on this planet, the moment you transfer it into the English or the European mind, you already lost. Everything has to go into the English language to make sense to you. That's why you're saying Kemet, because now you're saying, well, Kemet means black, right? Well, black is what? How do you know how you say black in Igbo, in anything else? No, you do not. Everything is based on the European. For you.
Right. Let me say this, bro.
Hold on.
Say this.
All right.
Let me break it down to you, right? I did a show with Bomani last week, right? I said the title of the show, listen to the title of the show, right? The title of the show was Western Civilization Produced Black Consciousness and Black Nationalism, right? In other words, basically, because of our experience, you gotta understand something, and you gotta cut us some slack, raw image, right? When somebody takes you out of the slave trade, right? Take your culture away from you, right? And make the color of your skin, your soul identity for hundreds of years, and degrade you on that, sell you on that, and basically pit you against other people like you based on your color of skin. That becomes your reality. So we can't just walk away from that and say, oh, well, because this was our reality, they made us into black people. Now
You're right.
The whole thing is this, though. They have this black conscience that's still permeating out of from America, and throughout this radical black conscience and everything that's still dangerous, that affected South Africa, that caused revolutions in Africa and everything like that, with Kwame Nkrumah and Stephen Biko and stuff like this, and Maurice Bishop and Grenada and stuff like this. This black poisonous consciousness that's still here, that's affecting the black body around the world. They said, what the hell's going on? What do we do? So the only thing they could do is to try to destroy Black America, right? Because of our experience here in America, produces black conscience, right? Now, some black people, some other countries may not take it like we do. Like Nigerians, they may not take the black conscience because they're a majority black country and like that. But other countries that you see in Burkina Faso and Niger and Mali, right? That black conscience is spreading to them, you know? And this is their worst nightmare, you know? So this black conscience that produced the Constitution of Liberia, that produced Freetown and everything, like this idea of the idea of a black state, a black civilization, and a black identity and whatnot, that created the African National Congress and also like that, permeated from the experience of the black man in America, in our institutions and everything we've been through. And I'm sure, with a little moment ago, I'm sure even him would, as much as he disagree with me, would agree with that.
I agree with what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, see, the title says, are Black Americans more Anglo than we are?
No, we're black conscious. And we're black
okay.
conscious in America.
I agree with you.
And the thing is, the whole thing is in Africa right now, if Africa became more African black conscious centered and everything, and you did really have like a Wakanda or something like that of black people experience, more black people interested in it. But black people, for the most part, are not interested in, like I said, when I first got on Dining Show, African safari. You know, when we go over there, we see Africans putting beads on the head of Europeans and dancing for Europeans and dating Europeans and everything like that. And white people walking around freely, African like that, we're like, hey, what is this place? You know, so
Because he's still master. That's what I was saying. Everything that they set up. See, I didn't exclude Africans.
you know,
So no, I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm just saying we need to look at a bigger picture than just me. It's not just me. It's all of us. They have us under a strict program, and they need us to be a certain way. See how like Black Americans, African Americans say they move the culture for the whole world because they profit off of you guys. You guys are the ones that they have in charge of everything when it comes to entertainment and all this stuff. You guys run all of it, right? They make profit off of you guys. The amount of money that you guys generate for America, none of it is coming to you guys. Even though you have a couple millions, millionaires and billionaires, whatever, the amount of money that you guys generate, if it was coming to you guys, it was for you guys, the whole world would belong to you guys. But the reason why they allow this, all of this power that's given you to push all this entertainment to the worst is because they profit off of you guys. And Africa being a first world country, they're never going to allow it because the moment Africa is sustainable, and we run everything and do everything on our own, they're going to drop bombs and they will destroy everything because that means the destruction of their first world countries.
Well, yeah, that's why I said the war. The thing is, when you say it like that, right? The average African ain't prepared for a conflict. Look at this. You got France running around. Oh, the French are mean for like. There's no African will ever say, even when they're going, people say, oh, Africa's rising up on that. I don't see that, right? I'm seeing they're jockeying for a better position with France. They're going to go back to France and say, now that we did all this, let's come negotiate. France is going to win in the end, regardless. You know, I'm telling the truth. There's no plan to freaking say, you know something, we're going to build nukes. We're going to build long-range missiles. We're going to freaking go to war with France. Let them pay back. You know how brutal the French was when they took Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, how brutal that was. That was one of the most brutal exploits in human history. I mean, the French sent their worst criminals in there to take that region in West Africa. It was very brutal. It was
you see, when you talk about weapons, the African mentally, physically, spiritually is not designed to behave and think that way.
We have to. If we want to survive.
Hold on, for sure. But I'm saying,
we're humans just like other humans on this planet.
No. Hold on.
At the end of the day, we're animals.
Don't bring us. Listen, you see how they say their teaching say we come from the monkeys and we evolve and this.
No,
and this,
they
and we
don't say we come from the monkeys.
Hold on, okay.
Let's hold on. One mic. Hey, William Fortune, turn your camera on first before I let you on. Okay, perfect. You can turn your camera off.
You see how they? So Fortune, do you believe?
Hold on. William Fortune, go ahead, William Fortune.
Yeah, I just wanted to add in real quick that, well, one, with the topic, I agree with the topic. I think in America, African Americans are more culturally Anglo than African, but I also wanted to point out to the last conversation that was going on, like, could we imagine a world where, like in the 60s, when our leaders weren't assassinated, or if they weren't assassinated, from Malcolm, Lumumba, Martin King, and so forth, like when we get to a point where we could potentially get ahead, where we have a direction, look like what is the name, Ibrahim Touré in Burkina Faso. Like, they're already trying to assassinate him with everything that's going on now. But could we imagine a world where our leaders, from even to Toussaint Louverture in Haiti, if he wasn't assassinated when he went to France or went to Europe and they killed him, where we had our leaders and we actually were able to build on that? That's what the problem is. Like, when we actually get ahead.
William, Brother William, let me answer that, right? See, the whole thing is we've been conditioned, right, to understand this was a great leader, but he was assassinated, and there was another great leader. He was assassinated one night. This way, he was doing so well one night. He had a good people. Next, you know, he was kidnapped and sold back to slavery. We accept the narrative of taking L's.
Yeah, no, I'm not accepting the narrative.
I'm not saying we are, but the bottom line, we always sit back in hindsight, say, imagine if we, the black people could have protected Malcolm X, we could have protected Martin Luther King, we could have protected Garvey. But we always wait to after the fact to be like, you know something, Garvey had a good plan.
Well, we didn't appreciate them then. Like, I think
like me. I'm not saying I'm Marcus Garvey. I'm not saying Kyle Jensen is Marcus Garvey. But show a brother some kind of love, man. The work I put out here and everything we do and everything. They're gonna say, wait till Kyle's dead. And we're like, damn, that Kyle's a good guy. He taught so much about Liberia and everything like that. And then they're gonna make a monument to me and shit like that. It's no good. I'm gone. You know.
Right,
All right, well,
But we always
let me
wait
read
till somebody get going.
let me read the super chat. Mrs. Sandman, thank you. Black Americans are Anglo-culturally and genetically from the mixing of races. We were in bondage. Time to embrace our African heritage. Hold on, William Fortune, are you anything else you want to add? And shout out to Dollar Bill.
No, we can keep going. We can keep going.
All right, let me pass it to RBG GWAP, then I'll pass it to Missy Botter. Go ahead, RBG.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? I always try to add the first and foremost, the more orderly our speech can be, the easier it'll be for us to trade perspectives and reach common ground. I say that to say try if possible, because it's not my platform. I know Dynas, you have your protocols and your program. Try speakers, all different folks. Try to let people finish their points and not assume you know where they're going with it. It'll make it flow a little smoother, and it'll sharpen our minds, being able to hold our questions and concerns. But as far as what y'all were just talking about, you know, or let me say, to answer the question of the show, the topic, yeah, it's quite clear we do, us, blacks in America, we have the Anglo thing going on. I like to say that we're possessed by the white man. And, it is what it is, but a lot of us are cognizant of that. So, that's the first step to recovery.
Let me ask you a question, RBG. Let me why you asking that right now.
Akala, the man is the man.
You don't want to hear that.
RBG,
you don't want to hear that. See, people want to hear the truth. When you speak truth, they get triggered right away.
Akala, man, the man just go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
But yeah, look, I'm speaking a little longer than I would like to, anyways, because I got to run in the store. But I was gonna say, as far as what the brother had interrupted Kala before to say about the black and the identity, if we're gonna keep having that convo, and that ties to if we're actually black on the inside, if we're actually African culturally, we should probably organize a modern reverse Berlin conference, make it be high quality production like your Revolt World, things like that, kind of similar to what some of the elders have tried to do, what Michi X has tried to do. But just really seriously address like what denotes our culture, tying the new minds in the community with some of the elder scholars and institutionaries, and just, bringing in, we can even have organizations, your UNIAs, have Donfo and Adinkra that did Year of Return, have both the BAIOs, have, all these different factions able to really talk about it with representatives from the African Union, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that's the only way we're going to really be able to make a mark with this, where serious people can make the mark, the cutting edge of the community makes the mark and pushes the community as a whole forward, or else we run the risk of a lot of demagogues and scoundrels and grifters running away with some of these narratives. So but yes, we're unfortunately we're whitewashed, and our struggle is perpetually to get back to our roots and then take it exponentially further.
All right, Missy Botter. Missy Botter, go ahead, Missy Botter. Let me unmute you.
Well, greetings. Hold on. Let me see. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, greetings to everyone. So, as usual, right? A lot of great conversation, but I think it's time for Black men, because ultimately, when men are speaking, women should really be quiet, right? Because when we're talking about war, when we're talking about how to build a society, it is the men that have to build that society, not the women. The purpose of women is to support the men, right? So from my point of view as a woman, I'm saying it's time for Black men to raise the level of their discussion. Raise the vibration of what you're talking about. And we need to start talking about how they defeat us, how they beat us down. If you're not willing to die for the cause, just shut up, honestly. It's okay. Just take it from the ass as someone doing right now. That's all.
Yo, mute your camera, bro. What's wrong with that guy?
That's what we have to do, because we can't keep complaining about how they beat us, how they colonize us, and all this other bullshit. Right now, every other group of people in the world are trying to take their place, and they're trying to dominate something. If the men don't rise up and let the women support them, then you stay the way you are. That means you don't deserve to rise up. I'm telling you, every time you guys get up here, I will really appreciate if you start talking from the point of strength. Eventually, you will get it. You know, I'm a winner. All those other positive language. Start saying it until you get it. You know, the story of Goliath and all that other stuff. We need to start believing in that stuff. Slavery is done. It is done. It's never coming back. The only thing that's going to happen, the only way that's going to happen again is this type of conversation. And I would suggest anybody that wants to go to Africa, like Brother Ernest was talking about, it's going to have to be done individually for now. Because people are making excuses. Africa is not going to build African for you like a Porsche so that you can come there and come and slub around. It's work. You're going to dig a hole. You're going to build the wealth. You're going to shit bending down, not standing up like you've been having the commode right now. Building a nation is an ugly business. You're going to have to build. This is not a pat on the back. For those that can build, that's not ready to build, stay where you are. Africa is for men. And for those that wants to build. It is not a dig at any of you, but I'm saying we need to stop talking from the point of defeat. We're not defeated yet. We're here. And let's start giving some of these youths coming some positive things to look after. Even if you don't believe it, pretend as if you do. That's all. Thank you, Brother Dynasty, and everybody on the platform.
Thank you, sister.
Forgive me. And let me say this. I want you guys to, for anybody, any of you that is out there, forgive me if I say anything it's out of love, if there is any such thing, right? All right, stay blessed, everyone.
Thank you.
Bless.
Yeah,
let me read this super chat. 400 years of desperation is not 400 days. It has taken a toll on the Black people in America. America is their home. They survived a lot of trauma, so there should be a new understanding.
Well, I will say to that, like I said, that's true. Black people in America, right, for the most part, are still fighting for their identity, not just as race, but as human beings. Remember something, in America, our very humanity was taken from us, right? And listen to this, very, very carefully, right? And Dynasty asked a question earlier, why are so many people clinging to I go on TikTok, right? And I just scroll past a lot of this nonsense and whatnot. More and more Black people that were just 5 years ago were just Black and whatever like that. And they'll say, yeah, look at my Native American family. I'm like, Negroes, right? Now they're Native Americans, right? And the bottom line, and this is retarding their spirit and soul. Why is this happening? Because Black people in America have made it a big deal about fighting for something that was yours to begin with. Your humanity belongs to you. Nobody can give you a civil rights act, no Emancipation Proclamation, and no reparation. You have to take your emancipation. You have to take your human rights, and you have to take your reparations, right, by any means necessary. If you got to wait for another people to get elected to give you something, or somebody got to give you a monument, a Martin Luther King monument to make you feel good, or some white man got to make an apology, or we have a conversation.
Why do you have to take anything if it's not taken from you?
No, what I'm saying, you have to take it. First of all, this is
but your humanity How
Oh,
are you gonna?
this is why this is what I'm talking about. But Dynasty, we're gonna do a show about Liberia today. I don't know what happened with Dynasty, right? We'll put it like that. And the point I was gonna make was this: when you when you read the Declaration of Independence of Liberia for Hillary Teague, right? He said, because our basic humanity was denied in America by the white race, right? On this shore, in this civilization that we're going to create, you are a human being, and no black man that steps on these shores will ever be denied his humanity. You can
But
only do that
nobody
when you
needs
have
to tell you you're a human, and
you
nobody needs
have
to
to
tell
prove
you
it.
that.
So listen to this, bro. It doesn't matter. If somebody has the power to enslave you, they'll do it. You got to be in a position where you got to be sovereign, have your own nation, your land, everything. That's what everybody else throughout history fight
We
for.
had that when we was enslaved.
No,
So
you
right
didn't
now
have
we
the
accept.
power.
So right now we acknowledging that your humanity is taken from you, and you need to reclaim your
Right now,
humanity.
it wasn't just about slavery. They said that the black race belongs to slavery. No other people have been done that. You know, they said the black race.
Yeah,
Listen to
because you're
slavery.
accepting to be black.
No,
You see,
no. It's not acceptably black, bro. You don't get it. They said
I
they
do
looked at
get it.
us and said, "Look,
Stop
the
being black, and
African
none of
race.
that
Look,
applies to you.
hold on. Look, it doesn't matter. You keep acting like we had a choice. They say, okay, they say you're black. No, we don't want to be black and whatnot. Okay, we'll call you something else. No, they said you're the black race from Africa. This is your role, and you're gonna be condemned to slavery to the day you die. Your generation will be forever cursed. Read John C. Calhoun. Read everything why they fought for
Are you
the
cursed?
Confederacy. You know, and they bottom line is they had the power to do it, and they
Carla,
condemned
are
our
you
race to
cursed?
slavery. No, I'm not cursed. I'm saying, but it does not matter. If somebody
It
has a
does
right to
matter.
do that to you, if somebody has a right to do that to you, right, and we're living under the curse, the white man
You
put
have
a
to
curse
believe
already.
in those words to give it power, to give it
So
meaning.
let me ask you a question, right? Hold on, let me ask you a question, right? A lot of Africans in America, a lot of Africans who come to this country who judge Black America, right? Why are you guys got so much? Why y'all committing so many crimes? Why y'all acting so crazy in Atlanta? Why y'all wild out in Chicago? Why y'all act like you're out of your mind half the time? This is because we have never dealt with this thing because of the degradation of slavery in America. You cannot come here and salute the American flag and say, I'm a good American, everything like that. You're cursing my ancestors when you come here and do that. And then you wonder why people in America act crazy the way they do. You know, it's like somebody raped you your whole life. A girl that's traumatized by rape and everything, tell her, go be a ballerina. No, you've been traumatized.
So Carla, I'm just trying to, again, my whole thing is for us to question a lot of things and get to a lot of the stuff that we believe in and accept right now, right? So right now, as we are, nobody's enslaving you right now. But based on what you're saying, what I'm getting,
We're
hold on.
saying we're still living in the same culture, the same civilization that did
Which culture?
enslave us.
Which culture?
America.
The
So you're
criminal
partaking in
Eurasian,
American
the
culture.
criminal Eurasian government, it's based on human trafficking, genocide.
Well,
It's
I don't know
based
about
on
no
miseducation.
Eurasian. I'm not. No, look. Let's be honest with ourselves,
I
right?
mean, the American, the white
Let me say
Americans
this.
came from Britain, didn't they not?
Well,
Most of them came.
we came from Black Africa to America.
I'm
I
talking
don't
about
want
the
to hear.
system. He said what he was asking you to be clear about what system. Like I was
Well,
just
look,
being very,
it's
very
like this.
definite.
Well,
I'm not trying to argue. I'm just trying to get us to be specific and
Yeah, be
clear because
specific.
there's
Be
things that we
specific.
believe in that
If you let me clarify what I was saying, right? I said the Americans are now America, right? Remember something. Let's all due respect to America and everything. When the 13 colonies were created here and the British colonies and everything like this, the European mercantile system of slavery and exploitation and stuff like that to the mother country, which they basically when these colonies in the New World when I produced like almost 60-70% of the world's cotton and everything, made Europe and America richest regions in the world, right? That was done on the blood of our ancestors, right? To do so, they had to have they had to justify that, right? They had to say that a race of people was designed by God or genetically. Scientists had on one hand said we're beasts, we're nothing but labor and everything, and slavery. They said the Native American, the Pope Francis, I believe his name was, right, said don't enslave the Native Americans, the indigenous people. Only bring the Africans over there because they have no souls. And so the Native American and the Europeans created a great group called mestizos. They were together in the enslavement of Africans. The reason why Black people want to be Native Americans, right, because That's this failed attempt to be a human. The Europeans recognize the natives as humans, at least. Black people, when they say they're Native American, what they're saying is, I just want to be human. The African in America in the New World is not considered human. He's considered a beast, an animal.
Carla,
You know?
I understand the literature. That's what they wanted us to think. That's how, again,
Well,
we are under.
they have the power to enforce that.
Yeah. Now what
It
are they
doesn't
doing?
matter. If they have the power
Hold
to
on.
enforce
Stop
it,
saying it doesn't matter. It does matter. Carla, hold on. Give me 1 sec. What was written 400 years ago? Who's enforcing you to believe in those things that they written 400 years ago?
Well, it doesn't matter if you believed it or not, right?
Why do you
If
keep
it's your
saying it
reality.
doesn't matter?
Let me ask you a question, right?
All right.
If somebody came to you, Royal, right?
Yeah.
And says they planted drugs in your house, right?
Yeah.
And they make up a story saying that you're this big time drug dealer. And next thing you know, you're arrested being arraigned, right? And you hear on the news, Royal, what's your name? Royal, I can't see your name now. Royal Image, I think it's right. And all over the newspaper, right? You hear that you're a big time drug dealer. And then people start coming forward saying, yeah. And you're saying, man, I'm an honest man. I never did anything in my life. But the bottom line is this: as long as the public believes it, and the judge that's going to sentence you, and the prison guard that's going to bring you to jail and everything like that, and shoot you, as long as they believe, it does not matter whether it's truth or not. You see how it works?
It matters to you. It should matter to you. What I'm saying is, you are more powerful than you are saying you are. Like,
yeah, we are. But the bottom line is,
your power.
I came to the conclusion, right? I said the
All right.
only way the black man is ever going to have something is the black man in America needs to have a nation of his own. You know, he needs to eventually divorce from America, build a nation of his own in Africa, and with the help of the African government. So we did redraw the borders of Africa. We need to have a new Berlin Conference, redraw all these colonial borders, right? Kick out these Europeans, Asians, everybody else, and build a new Africa. That's the only way it's going to happen. But
I
since
don't
Africa
think
doesn't
that's
want to
going to be
do
the
that,
best.
It starts
All
with
right,
self.
let me read this. Let me read this super chat. College Genesis, do you think the 10 to 20% European DNA that is within African American population? Mine isn't that high. Population factors to our double consciousness in the U.S.
No. I think it's this is what I'm saying. I was studying Brazil. Do you know the black people that call themselves black in Brazil and Dominican Republic? They're 20% African origin. And they call themselves black. Same thing with a lot of people now. So black people in America, you look at it. We've been here 400 years, right? And still, most of us are like 90 to 85 to 90% African DNA. So it tells me our race stayed intact. So this idea of those all this race mixing. Now you go to the Caribbean like that, yeah, they're mixed race whatnot, because there was it showed you that we were always pretty much a people still. You know, that's remarkable how we were able to survive. Our genetics were able to survive. Now I'm saying like this: black people in America are culturally are African, they're Anglo-Saxon, they're Irish. I don't see any Native American history culture in African Americans, right? We got Creole culture, we have a Gullah Geechee culture, we have all these things that mix with, that call themselves African Americans. We're primarily Christian, Baptist, Methodist, Muslim, and everything, and African spirituality and voodoo. You know, all that's practiced in homage in African American traditional culture. All that's mixed together in our Christianity, our music, and our dance, everything like that. So that culture right there is one of the oldest cultures in the world, 400 years. We're older than the Zulus. We're older than a lot of tribes in Africa. You know, so the bottom line now, our way of life is modern, right? We're a product of the modern world. We're a product of the Industrial Revolution. We're a product of the Age of Enlightenment. All these things like here.
You're a product of the European. It's simple as that.
Well, I know I would not say that, because if you
That's
really
what
look
it
at
is.
it, right? Hold on. See, that's what I'm saying. Hold on. How are we European? Because do you know the first communities in New York were black communities? Places like Weeksville, Brooklyn, Nantucket, right there. Those were black communities. Fort Lee, New Jersey. You know, all along the East Coast of America. Those were black Europeans and black people that lived.
Yeah, there were
in,
Africans that was from the Akan culture as well, though. It's Dutch and Akan, and
yeah. So there's a lot of
York,
Africans. There's a lot of Africans that settled that were Dutch, Portuguese, Spanish, everything that settled in America, became part of these new black communities, and we helped build New York City and Boston, all these stuff. We became Masons, everything. So just to say that it was white people came in large numbers later. You know what I'm saying? So when people just wonder, oh, you're white, when that's not true. You know, that's not true. Black people contribute
But that's
greatly to the foundation of America.
I'm not breaking up, am I? But that's why.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
talking,
It's crackling.
yeah, my bad. I'm gonna mute myself after this, but that's why I was talking about the leaders. Like, even though, yes, I'm not trying to say, oh, going back to the leaders, they were assassinated, but where would our culture be if we had Malcolm still alive or Martin still alive, or they may be deceased now due to old age, but if they weren't assassinated, our culture, our community would
But
have
you're
went a
here,
different
Carl.
direction.
Let me show you something, right? Hold on. Now,
It's-
look.
Hey, Royal,
Give me
can I?
one second.
I'm
Give me
I'm
one
about to
second.
jump off. I just wanted to say I appreciate what y'all talking about. To the sister's point, I think a lot of this would be solved if it was a little more active. Like something I've been implementing is monthly Black Manhood Boot Camp up here in the DC area. It's called Man Time. And we just attacking things like having a workshop where brothers can talk about, first talk, right? We talking about like geopolitics, getting your perspective so you can know all these factors, but then getting to more training, right? Getting to fatherhood, family planning, traditional Afro cosmology, right? Outdoor survival, economics, organization, home repairs and light trade skills, self-defense, etc., so that our younger men can be a part of this discussion and be a part of the re-civilization effort. But yeah, I appreciate what y'all, just
Thank you.
hammering home.
Good. Keep up the good work, brother. Keep up the good work.
All right, guys, listen, we're gonna close out. And everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Peace.